Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. This one here is a general notice where I outline my plans for the week ahead, talk about things that I believe are kind of like pressing issues, and well, let's get on with it. If you're looking for the kind of things I'm going to be talking about in this video outside of my plans for the week ahead, there'll be a timestamp down below. But yeah, my plans for the week ahead, we've got two motorsport series that I'm going to be covering at least. Those are the WRC and F1 Rally Estonia, because the WRC is back, and F1 with the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. I'll be doing previews to the two of them, and I'm going to be doing reviews for the pair of them as well. I'm also likely going to be trying to get reviews out for the last two meetings of the BTCC at Alton Park and Knock Hill, because I didn't want to do the one for Knock Hill before I did the one for Alton Park. It's like how I held back on doing the Race 2 review for Kuvula to make sure that I'd done the Race 1 review first. I might also do something to do with Formula E because there's stuff going on with the driver market that I haven't talked about for a while, and in terms of streams, I'm going to be doing a couple over on the BUSR channel as commentator. There's the ACC Summer Sprint Cup, which is the final round, I believe, today, Hungaroring, and the same for the F1 Summer Cup. I believe it's going to be the final round at Monza. And that's going to be Saturday at around 7:30 p.m. But yeah, let's talk about a couple more streams that are going to be going on this channel, which are RSRBR, Rally New Zealand, that's probably going to be on Sunday. Two in BUSR's Dirt Rally 2.0 stuff, there's going to be an actual rally event. Sadly, there wasn't a Rallycross one on Thursday last week, that got postponed. But there's, I believe, a rallying one in the R5, and then I've got the Rallying League as well in the R5. And I might try and do an F1 one, but I also wanted to do a little thing for Formula E's Positively Charged, which I haven't gotten to yet. And also, we are going to go into September. And this month of August is coming to a close at the end of, today, the day I'm recording this. And it's been a good month. I'm happy with how this has gone. We've passed the point on this channel now where it's 6 years of daily video content, which honestly feels weird. But yeah, I'm very happy with what's been happening here. I've got a few more members of what's proved to be quite a strong and quite a lovely community, and I'm really proud of the community that we've got here. It's really nice people, really lovely people. And another thing, just as housekeeping, I'm going to be trying out with a general notice putting the thumbnails for the debate topic. Going to see how that goes this week. But yeah, let's talk about my main kind of point for this week, and it's going to be talking about the responsibilities of F1 drivers, especially in regards to politics, because I don't know if you know about this, but I've been making videos every Grand Prix about the anti-racism protest. I've also made videos critical of F1's We Racist 1 message. Same for Formula E's Positively Charged. And, well, it's been quite interesting. I think as a topic, it's probably the thing that's brought in almost the most amount of views for this channel. But, yeah, this week I want to talk about the responsibilities of drivers. Because I want to try and get this out there in a more kind of constructed way, because it's evident in my videos the inferences of it. But essentially, the drivers today are not paid to just drive. They're representative of the brands that their teams are, and they're also representative of their own personal brands that they trade on outside of Formula 1. I mean, we see it with some of them that stand out for me are Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo. And those are people who trade very much on their own brand, on their own reputation. And I think that's something that's key to talk about. Because when we talk about drivers kneeling or not kneeling, it is also partially to do with their brand. Like, there are ways that they're using it as a positive change for good, and we see that with Lewis or Lando or Daniel. But at the same time, you could potentially argue that for others like Max or Charles, that's partially maybe the reason why they are standing. As I don't know if you can hear, but my neighbours are doing some hammering something in the background, so hopefully you can't really hear it because the microphone is usually good at depth of field, but it's pretty loud for me. But yeah, this is part of the reason why I say hold drivers to account for what they say and what they do. Because they are representative of so many different things now. And I'm not saying cancel drivers or anything like that. I'm saying hold them to account, scrutinise them, criticise them. When they say they're not going to kneel during the anti-racism protest, ask them why. Because it certainly isn't a thing to do with national stuff in their cases. Like, I mean, we have representatives of pretty much every one of the countries for those drivers in the English Premier League, and they all knelt before matches. Saw it in the Community Shield over the weekend. And even with drivers like Kimi Räikkönen, for example, you got Valtteri Bottas. It's really odd. And like with a lot of this, it's because their excuses don't stand up to really any scrutiny. Like, a lot of people were giving Daniel Kvyat benefit of the doubt because he said, "Oh, where I'm from," he was talking about Russia. And I mean, I've studied Russian history to a degree, and I was like, I don't think that's the case. And so I asked people that I know who are Russian. I said, "Hey, I'm covering this and people are saying this. Is this the case?" And they went, "Nope, it's not the case. He's kind of making that up. Or he's using something that's really outdated and isn't actually really Russian culture." Like, it's hard to have that kind of discussion when people are like, yeah, we'll give him a free pass. It's the same with Kimi. People give Kimi the brand of, oh, that's just Kimi. And for me, that reads like when I talk about Bernie Ecclestone. And when I made videos talk about Bernie Ecclestone's comments, what was it? The comment that he made that black people were more racist than white people. A lot of people were like, that's just Bernie. And at some point you've got to go, stop. No, you can't say somebody's free from criticism just because that's who they are. There is no reason for them to be free of that kind of criticism. There is just no reason for it. And this was something I saw coming up in a couple of comments. Saw people saying, but they're free to do this and it needs respecting. It doesn't. Like, you don't... If somebody came along and... Let's say... Let's throw in a proper straw man and say... Somebody came along and tried to justify the Holocaust. You don't say that you respect their opinion. You say their opinion is wrong. And you crucially to this bit, you scrutinize it and you criticize it. Because it is something that is objectively wrong. And like I said, I know that's a straw man. I know it is. But let's say... talk about Carlos Sainz. Let's bring Carlos Sainz into this. Because I like to talk about Carlos Sainz because he's probably one of the biggest examples to have when you talk about criticising and scrutinising drivers. Carlos Sainz was accused of racism with making a racially insensitive joke during, I believe, a sponsor video earlier this year. And then he chooses to stand at anti-racism protests, and when asked his reasoning, he says, "I am a free man." You don't just respect that opinion. You go, hang on. This is somebody who has done things where people have accused him of racism. And reportedly, whenever people have asked about it, it's been covered up. It's been hushed under. It's been hushed away. How come we can just say, yeah, that needs to be respected? It doesn't. It needs to be scrutinized. It needs to be criticized. And I ask that of everyone. I don't just ask that of drivers who aren't kneeling. When drivers like Daniel Ricciardo or Lewis Hamilton or Lando Norris say they're going to be a force for good, I hold them to account on that. And by and large, they are. Which is a good thing. It's better than F1's We Race As One. I mean, that was announced during Pride Month, appropriated the colours of the Progress Pride flag, and we haven't really seen anything going towards it. Chase Carey apparently pledged $1 million, but given that Liberty is supposedly billions of dollars fortune, yeah, that's not much. And we don't even know what's going on with it. I mean, Formula E's positively charged message, which, again, is a jumbled up thing where bits of it are, I don't know, like, it's intentionally vague. They're at least doing something. They've got this drive for a new presenter. And they're going to be media training the 4, like, finalists and giving one of those 4 a job. That's something. That's something tangible. Don't really have that with Formula 1 and We Race As One yet. But yeah, the drivers are their own brands, and they're representative of it. So no, F1 drivers aren't just drivers. They haven't been for the longest time. I mean, you can go back and find Schumacher traded on brand, for example, or Alonso trades on brand. And we need to stop making excuses for them. We can't just say, oh, this is an opinion, because talking about anti-racism shouldn't be a political opinion. And it's not like, oh, you can respect the differences. You should not go, oh, we can respect the differences on this. No, we shouldn't. We should go, hang on, scrutinize it, and if it doesn't hold up to scrutiny, criticize it. That's the bare minimum. But yeah, those are my thoughts, and I'm going on for way too long now. So I wanted to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.